All right. In this video, we're going to discuss 10 ways to evaluate an idea or to know how you decide if the idea is worth pursuing or not. The previous video covered how to create value. So we are working on, so we literally like we are dissecting what I call the startup growth infrastructure. So I developed a tool to help people build predictable businesses, like frameworks to build a business, a thriving business predictably. So in the previous video, we covered, three ways to create value or three frameworks, three pillars of creating value: the need, the want, the encouraged. And then we covered also a bunch of rules and laws to help businesses. Now, in this one, we are going to talk about how do you evaluate if an idea is worth pursuing or not. Because what I noticed is that for so many cases is that people don't have a ways to, they don't know how to evaluate an idea. They don't know how to decide, okay, this idea is worth pursuing or this one is not worth pursuing, because it seems like sometimes you try it works, sometimes you try it doesn't work. And one of the mindsets that I have when it comes to building a business is that there are always predictable ways to build things. If you have a systematic way to build a plane, a car, a laptop, there are surely ways to build a business, systematic ways. So these videos are going to provide with you. We're going to cover the infrastructure and how to use it, but also most importantly, these videos are going to give you mentor models to run your business, to build a business. Now, so many founders waste time and resources building wrong products. You meet these people, uh, someone is trying to start an idea, and then the first thing he thought about is to hire a developer to start developing, but no one validated your idea. Yesterday, so in the previous video, we covered uh, the Crusader rule. If you don't have a crusade around your idea, then it's not going to work. Literally, a crusade around your idea. People have to be enchanted by your business before you even start spending money on it. There is a way to signal interest. We'll see how to do that. But so many founders waste a lot of time, a lot of money on products that are wrong. What is a wrong product? A wrong product is not a failed product. A wrong product is a product that no one wants. Before it fails, it's wrong in its nature. So you want to validate that. And one of the purpose of any coach, the purpose of any um, venture builder is to tell you upfront, straight away, that this thing that you're working on is not going to work. That is the purpose of a coach. That's the purpose of any venture builder or consultant. If you're watching this and you're a consultant but you don't tell people the truth, then that's not good. Even founders, you have to don't be attached to your ideas, because you're getting attached to your idea. You receive feedback, you don't receive it. You get feedback, but you don't receive it. You don't own it. And then you say, no, I'm going to try this thing. No, please. So it should take less than 48 hours of research to decide if this idea is worth pursuing or not. Then, as you get approval to keep building, I always tell founders that, or entrepreneurs in general, that when you are building a new product, the only thing you should do is maybe develop like the 2 to 3 first features, and then the rest of the features is going to be decided by the customer, the users. The users are the ones who say, okay, add this feature, add that feature, remove that, do this, do that, do that, do this. But if you don't get approval from the users, you're going to build something that no one needs and no one wants. And then at the end of the day, you will find yourself in a very depressive state where you're stuck with a product that you've developed, but when you're going to give it to people to use it, people are going to be like, hey, this is not exactly what we wanted, but we wish you luck. Heartbreaking. I think it's more heartbreaking to hear someone say, you've built an amazing product, it's impressive, but we don't need it. That's more hurtful than someone telling you, please don't build that idea. Don't develop it because no one is going to use it. We don't need it. Please change it. And the role of a coach is to be honest with you, is to pop your bubble and um, break delusions. So it's very important to listen to the coaches, listen to the consultants. You can even, I don't care, even if it's a big business that is in the quest to innovate and improve the products, or bring a new product on the marketplace, it's very important to also get approval from the already existing customers or the potential market to which you're going to sell your product. Now, even the most ingenious idea will fail if no one wants it. Creating something no one wants is a waste. This is the iron law of the marketplace. I love how they called it iron law. So you don't break it, it breaks you. That's very important. You don't break this law, the law is going to break you. Why? Because that's nature. So you're building something no one wants because no one told you to build it. First of all, I think as an investor, the first thing investors should ask founders who are pitching will be like, who gave you the authority to build? Who gave you the permission to build this? How did you receive permission from the customers to build this? And if the founders are not sure of, what kind of approval did they get from the customers, the feedback, then it's not a good idea. Stressing on this because I don't want you to waste time. So there are 10 metrics that will help you decide if this hypothetical idea is worth realizing or not. Now, the first one is urgency. How badly do people want or need this right now? If you're selling concert tickets 2 hours before the concert starts, that's urgent. If you're selling masks in COVID, that's very urgent. If you're selling water in the desert to someone who is about to die of thirst, that's urgency. Now, you might ask yourself, why is urgency crucial? Urgency is crucial because it measures how quickly customers need a solution to their problem. The more urgent the need, the faster customers are willing to act, which directly affects sales velocity and business success. Now, the reason why urgency is very powerful is because it's paired with the desire, the five core human desires that we covered. It's paired to security. When there is urgency, there is a rush, a need to secure something. That's why sales goes fast. That's why there is high willingness to pay, a reduced need for extensive marketing. These are the benefits of building a business in the urgency space, in the urgency narrative. I love that. Urgency narrative, competitive advantage, customer retention, easier lead conversion, high adoption rate, strong word of mouth, better cash flow. Very important because you don't want to build. I mean, what is a business if you don't have these? What is a business if you don't have these? I don't know what it is because there has to be a sense of urgency. Like, what will happen? For instance, what will happen if you don't put in practice these courses that I'm sharing, or if you don't implement an infrastructure, a form of system in your business, you're going to fail. Like, I can predict that. I don't need to guess around it. I just know it because it works. It's science. It's almost like something I know, just like we know tomorrow the sun is going to rise, or in the evening the sun is going to set. Market size. How many people are actively purchasing things like this? The market for underwater basket weaving courses is very small. The market for cancer cures is massive. You want to solve a problem in a market that is growing, which means the problem is growing, or your product is going to be relevant to more people. That's why schools never go out of business, because people are making babies every night. Have you seen a school that closed because no students were there? I've never understood that, by the way. That is a very interesting understanding. The market size, like how big is your market? Because at the end of the day, you want to develop a product in a place where either now market size has a nuance. You can develop a product in a market. If it's a commodity that you're developing, you need a very big market. If it's a bespoke service that you're offering, or if it's a product that is specialized product, you don't need a bigger market to survive. You can have fewer people paying you a lot of money, or so many people paying you a fraction. So market size has that nuance. But the whole point is, is this problem big enough? In other words, do many people have this problem that when we invest in solving it, when investing in solving it, the return is going to be worth it? Every problem is worth solving, but not every problem is worth should be solved by a business, because a business has a profit intricacies weaved into it. So the market size is very important. So it determines the potential revenue and growth opportunities for a business. A larger market means more potential customers. It also influences investor interest, as I was saying, as a bigger market suggests a higher return on investment. So a sizable market provides room for competition while still allowing businesses to carve out a profitable niche. Now, I want to extrapolate on this one a little bit on competition. The reason why it's good to have a market that has, when you see a business competing with so many businesses in that sector, it means that market is very big. Instead of owning 100% of a market of 100 people, you can own 1% of a market of a billion people. You don't need a very big portion of the market to survive or to have like a flourishing business, in fact. So the market size matters a lot because it determines revenue potential, it attracts investors, supports scalability, reduce market saturation risks, long-term growth, room for competitive differentiation. Like I said, so if you have like the market, this is the telecom market, it's very big. Many people, the mobile penetration in Africa is huge, and you have players. That's why fintech is very attractive, because mobile penetration is very high. The number of African diaspora sending money in the back in the continent is all-time high. So all of these factors influence the size of the market. It makes the market size, a large market size, more competitive than a smaller market size. Strategic partnerships, financial stability and sustainability. Then it supports innovation and product diversification. So if it's a big market, you can diversify. You can bring in more type of products. You can bring in more new ways of doing things, because there is that maneuvering space. But if you have a small market, then there's no maneuvering space. And the good thing about a big market size, or a big market, is that you collaborate with people, but you can also come up with a different type of product that solves a specific need because there's that flexibility. Now, pricing potential. What is the highest average price a purchaser would be willing to pay? Like I was saying, so someone would be, you can say like, I'm going to serve only 5 people this year, but every client is going to pay me, I don't know, $3,000, $30,000. That's a lot of money. So the pricing potential has to be also be, you have to think about it. Can I charge more, or are people willing to pay for this specific? Now it ties back to the problem. So see how like it's interconnected. So the pricing potential ties into the problem. Sometimes when you have discovered a so much relevant problem and you're providing a solution that fits like a glove, then people are willing to pay. I know some mechanics, for instance, that car owners are like, if he's not available to fix my car, then I'm not going to get it fixed. No one can touch my car. And I don't care how much he charges me, he does it so well. When you do things so well, people are not even, they are willing to pay because you have discovered the problem. So it ties back on the problem aspect. Now, pricing potential is crucial because it determines profitability, revenue, scalability, business sustainability. A higher pricing potential allows for better margins, covering costs while maximizing earnings. So it directly impacts profitability and margins, revenue scalability, perceived value, affects customer willingness to pay, and supports sustainable business growth. So it's very important to make sure that you're tapping into a market size that can afford what you're providing, but also price it in such a way that, but I think I always go back to the problem. If you're solving a relevant problem, you're not going to struggle. And also, one of the ways we will see like what we call pricing methods, but you can also ask. That's part of crusading. That's part of asking people. You can ask people like, how much are you willing to pay for this service? And then they tell you, okay, this is how much we can pay. Maybe they can tell you less than what you expected. So what do you do in that case? You adjust the market, you adjust the product, you adjust how like you're going to deliver your product, because at the end of the day, customers decide everything. They decide how much they're willing to pay. They decide how they want to be served, everything. So it ties into it all the time. Now, cost of customer acquisition. Remember what we're doing. So we are assessing. So these are the 10 ways to evaluate a market. If the pricing potential is low or they're not willing to pay, it's not a good idea. Cost of customer acquisition. How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? Let's say you're selling a product for $10, but it costs you 9.5. The cost is too high. So you cannot, that's not a good business. The cost of customer acquisition should be very low so that you increase the profit. So the customer, so this is crucial because it affects profitability and return on investment. So it directly impacts a scalability, growth potential, affects pricing and revenue models, and influences marketing and sales efficiency. Helps optimize a budget allocation, budget allocation and resource management. You want to make sure that you are in a business where to acquire customers is cheaper, because if it's high, then you're going to have to be in trouble staying sufficient and making profit. So it's very important to be aware of that. Now, so cost of value delivery. How much does it cost you to deliver value? Let's say this is why software is very powerful, and billions of dollars were invested in this sector, because delivering a software is very easy. You just deliver it. But someone who has a factory, to deliver that takes time, that takes effort, that takes cost. That's why you will see that a factory manufacturing something is not going to be to scale at the same level as a software company, because software companies are very scalable. They are huge, like they are very scalable. So, so the cost of value delivery is very important because it's directly tied into the margins of the business, the profit of the business, scalability, pricing strategy, competitive positioning, customer satisfaction, everything, and retention. Because if it costs you a lot of money to deliver the service or the product that you want to deliver, it means you're going to have a hard time unless you invest and pump money into the business. You're going to struggle with retention and customer satisfaction. It's just that's just the reality. So you have to look into that as well, because you don't want to end up with a business where the product is amazing, but to deliver it is almost nearly impossible. So uniqueness of offer. How unique is your offer? Compared to other competitors on the marketplace, how unique it is. Because uniqueness, similar to what we were discussing, it differentiates you from competitors, makes it easier to attract and retain customers, strengthen brand positioning, and enhances competitive advantage and make it and market defensibility. So the more unique, so how unique is your offer? Do you have other competitors? We saw that competition is good, but even though you're competing, you're not producing a copy of someone's business, unless if it's in a different location. Now we're talking about, so the uniqueness of your offer then is not the product, it's the location. So it ties into it, and you have to see it as, these 10 things, they work together. It's not something that is standalone. So you use all of them as you progress into your process of validating an idea. Speed to market. How fast can you bring this thing to the market? Is it going to take a year? Is it going to take 2 years? What is it? So the faster it is, the better it is. So, how quickly a business can capitalize on opportunities, outpace competitors, generate revenue, secure presence, secure early adopters, and adapt to changing customer needs. How fast is that? Because if you can develop this, like I said, urgency, speed, very important. If the faster you can deliver the minimum viable product, the faster that can happen, the easier you're going to, the easier it is to generate profit, to grow your business. Because the reason why most businesses struggle is because it costs them a lot of money. Like if I say, like, you want to set a garment manufacturing company, to bring that thing to the market is going to take you, time. If that's your business, that's very fine, because you know it, you have the capital for it. But if but again, also there is a way to test the market in smaller bits, so that when you launch that product, people are going to be like, yeah, we need more of that because we've seen that before. So it's very important to consider that as well. If you have a very big business, you can launch it in bits and size, in small bits and sizes, like I said. So the next one is upfront investment. How much do you need? If you need a lot of money to invest, is a red flag, unless you have the money. Now if you have the money, that's fine. If you have the money, it actually becomes a competitive advantage, because now it's different. But if you don't have the money, then it puts you in a vulnerable position compared to your competitors. So so because you need to know what cover, like what are the essential costs. So provides resource for product creation and market entry, ensures business survival and growth in early stages, enable competitive positioning and faster scaling, attracts potential investors by showing commitment and stability. So the reason why upfront investment is very important to consider is because if you have more, you're going to compete those who don't. If you don't have more, then you can lower the game, because entering. So Whenever the upfront investment is low, it means skills are more valued. It means it's a business that is driven by intellect. If it's a business driven by intellect, then the upfront investment is going to be very low. But for businesses that are more into like brick and mortar, um, that are not like software or digital, they require a very huge investment. So you have to see, you can play with this, and then say, this was, instead of entering upfront investment high type of business, let me enter like skills more, and then develop a product, go to market in a faster way, generate urgency, and then secure customers as fast as I can. So it's a matter of strategies, and see, okay, um do I enter this bit? That's why it's very important to use these frameworks, to use these tools to validate your idea, and then instead of just going in there blindly. So upsell potential. Is there an opportunity to sell people more, to offer more value? Because remember, it's all about adding value. Because sometimes people tend to think that businesses is just extracting money from people's wallet and everything. No, if you think that way, the mercenary rule is going to cut you. Because remember, in the previous video we discussed the mercenary rule. If you go in business with the intention to just make money and then leave, then there's a problem. You're not going to survive. That, like I said, there are levels you're not going to exceed. You want to make sure that there are opportunities to add more value. Can I add more value? Can I serve more businesses? Can I provide more products? So upsell potential is the king of lifetime value, revenue, customer acquisition, reliance, profit from existing customers, customer loyalty, long-term relationships. Keep adding and pumping, topping up value and value and value and value. So it's very important to also assess that. A business that has opportunity for upsell is a beautiful business. It's an amazing business. So make sure that you don't lose that as well. That's one of the also the crucial metrics to evaluate when you're evaluating an idea, to use when you're evaluating an idea. Evergreen potential. Where do we see this industry in the next 10 years, 20 years? Right now, artificial intelligence, evergreen potential, because it's AI is where we were, the internet was in 1997, according to the experts. Evergreen potential. Are we going to be blocked 5 years from now? Or when we build this business five years from now, we'll be like, oh my God, that was a good investment. There's so many ways, there are so many ways we can implement this, we can work on this. There are so many businesses we see that we can bring in this sector because we discovered it. So it's very important. Now, this is the usual. So ensures consistent long-term revenue, business stability, it reduces dependency on trends, enable efficient scaling and resource allocation. Now, when you're done with your assessment and add up the score, if the score is below 50, it's not a good business. If the score is above 75, or above, yes, 75 and above, it's an amazing business. 50, between 75, it has potential to pay the bills, but it won't be the best business without a huge investment of energy and resources. So plan accordingly. Very, very important. So use these 10 ways to evaluate a market, evaluate an idea, validate ideas before you spend your time on them. And I'll see you in the next one. So share this video with your fellow founders, entrepreneurs, anyone who has a business to think about. You might be on the verge of um, scaling, innovating, or launching a new product. Please use these 10 ways to evaluate and validate an idea so that you don't waste time and resources. Thank you very much. I'll catch you in the next one.